to this wonderful program called Kingdom Business Network. We come together this morning to talk about business and share principles, tips, ideas, ways how we can grow businesses. There are some very important principles. It doesn't matter whether it's a big established business, whether it's a small business, that helps us to grow. And me, I have a wonderful honor here that we will be talking more and sharing even from our own experiences. I am a minister of the gospel. At the same time, I am also a businessman. And over the years, I've been able to grow several businesses, and there are principles that I've applied, which I believe I will be able to share with you. And so if you are thinking of starting a business, or you're already in business, or even employed and you're managing a business or working in a business as a staff, you're in the right place. So, well, karibu, and let's see how we can grow in business. And as I invite my guests here today, I'm reminded of the word, in the Bible, because this is about the kingdom. And this is 2 Corinthians 8 and verse 9. For you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that you through his poverty might become rich. Now, everybody is looking for resources, and people want to grow, to become rich and wealthy. Nobody wants to be poor. I've never met anybody who tells me my goal in life is to be poor. People want to be rich, they want to be wealthy, they want to succeed in business, and we'll be helping you how to succeed in business. On my far end there, I have Enoch, who is also in business, and he can introduce himself and tell us his passion in business. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Bishop. My name is Enoch Chitonde Chija. I'm from Uganda. I'm so excited to be part of this program, Kingdom Business Network. I am a member of OFC Church. I'm so excited to be led by a bishop over here. And I work with Digital Adverts Limited. I am the chief trainer of the company. We offer marketing services and advertisement solutions to all businesses. We are working with a network of over 800,000 people if you go to our website. And then we also have an application in place where we have active business members, about 1,000 or so. And I'm so excited about this program because I know it's going to add value not only to my company, but also to someone out there who is willing to grow his or her business in a kingdom, with a kingdom mindset. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you. I like that kingdom mindset. Yes. Because there's the worldly mindset, but also we are thinking about here the kingdom, the way of, kingdom means the way of doing things in the kingdoms. How is Uganda?
Well, Uganda.
When you compare Kenya and Uganda, what's the difference?
Well, I think Kenya is by far, when you look at my area of expertise, it is working so well in the digital. When you talk about digital transformation, the infrastructure here is not like what is in Uganda. Maybe what I can say is the matoke. I miss matoke in Uganda. But I can get it from Kisii. One of these days, someone connected me to someone who really supplies me. But I'm so proud. I've been here for more than a year, and I am enjoying the process.
Yes. Wonderful. Well, we'll make sure you get you some matoke.
Absolutely.
Well, next to him, we have my friend, Dr. Francis Mungai, and he can also greet us and introduce himself.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Francis Mungai, as Bishop has said. I'm a minister of the gospel. And in addition to that, I'm also a business person. I'm attached to a company known as TrackWest, where we do business consulting and also marketing. We help small businesses grow and also big businesses achieve their top line. I'm so excited to be here to discuss this issue of kingdom businesses.
Yeah. So you can hear about marketing, and I'm sure that's something we'll be handling along the way. Thank you, Dr. Francis Karibu. And next to me here we have Dennis Ndungu. He can also introduce himself.
Thank you, Bishop. Good morning, viewers. My name is Pastor Dennis Ndungu, pastor at Overcoming Faith, and worship leader and minister. And besides that, I'm also a business person. Together with my family, we are having a company. We're running beauty and anything to do with manicure, pedicure, and of course, all things that ladies really love these nowadays, the hair and everything. That's what we are doing, and we thank God. Thank you to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, well, I think the beauty of life is that God has given us ideas, and you don't, sometimes you don't just remain on the same lane. You can do different things in a way. Like Apostle Paul says, I can do all things through Christ. So, well, I can be a minister of the gospel, but still I'm able to put my finger here and another one there. And that's why we have to think as we begin. What are some of the tips, ideas, principles that would help somebody who is maybe thinking of starting a small business, or maybe just started a small business 6 months, 1 year ago? And what are some of the pitfalls that people can avoid so that you don't fall where others have fallen? Because in Kenya, in our economy, which is relatively a young economy, there are so many people who are doing small businesses, and they are thinking how everybody wants their business to grow. So if you're going to grow your business, then you're in the right place, and that's your desire, that's your plan. So we want to speak and discuss and open our minds, our understanding on how we can grow. So Dr. Mungai, if somebody comes to you, they just started a small business, or maybe they are thinking of starting one, what advice would you tell them?
Well, that's a very good question. In business, one of the things that you need to be very, very careful about is how you start and why you start and where you start. So for me, the way I would look at it is that business has to start with a passion. What are you passionate about? Are you passionate about cosmetology? Are you passionate about computers? Are you passionate about farming? What is a business that you're passionate about? So a business has to start with a passion, that I'm passionate about this. So if you're passionate about it, then the next step that you need to do is you need to then do some research about your passion and ask yourself, is there a customer need that I can be able to resolve? Because there are a lot of businesses which are very successful, and the reason why they are very successful is because they have dedicated themselves to solving a customer problem. So you need to ask yourself, what problem will I solve with the skills that I have, with the passion that I have of computers, for example, of cosmetology? What problem can I solve? If you are able to solve a problem for a customer, then you'll be in business for a long time. So that will be my first starting point.
Well, so you mentioned, passion.
Yes.
So are you saying if somebody is passionate about something, that could be a business opportunity?
Exactly. So your passion actually is your biggest opportunity for business, that you're passionate about something, because in the end of the day, you don't want to do something just for the sake of doing it, or doing it because you saw somebody else doing it. You want to do it because you are passionate about it. You are going to then be able to be committed in the long haul, because business is not 100 meters, it's a marathon. You have to persist, you have to persevere. So you can imagine trying to persist and persevere for years on end on something that you don't like or you're not passionate about.
Well, you have mentioned copying, and would you say somebody came and asked you, am I doing something wrong? If I see Enoch selling flowers, for instance, and I think, well, it's a good idea, I can also start selling flowers, because I saw him the other day, making a lot of money, and I saw him buy a nice suit, and he told me he bought it from that business, or he bought a car, or he bought a house. I mean, would you say it's wrong to copy what other people are doing?
I would say that it's very wrong to copy what people are doing, because number one, we call it Me Too. So you are doing it because you saw somebody doing it, and you think you can also do it because might be they're also doing well. In the area of business, copying does not differentiate you. And that's another aspect that you'll hear me talk about a lot. Mm-hmm. That what sets you apart in business is how are you able to differentiate yourself from your competitor? how well can you solve the problem for the customer? What's the difference that you're bringing in? So if you just do a copy paste of somebody else's business, then you're not differentiating yourself. So you don't give the customer a reason why he should buy from you as opposed to the other person. And that's why you should not copy. You should actually look at a way whereby you ask yourself, yes, I'm going to get into this business. How will I differentiate myself from every other business in the same line? So if you are doing a hair salon, for example, how would my hair salon be different from the salon next door?
Okay.
As opposed to saying, because there's a next door hair salon, then I saw they are making money, then I'll go to the next 2 rooms and open a business.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get your point. So what you're saying, one can learn from others, but you don't copy. I think there's a difference between, there's a thin line between you can learn some principles, some wisdom, some ideas, but which you may apply in your business, but you don't copy and paste. And I think that's an important, and I like also what you said, it's good to be different. Because every business, even if you're in the same line of business, all of you are doing, let's say, salon or selling clothes or this or the other, then you should be unique. And I think why people will keep coming to you is because you have some uniqueness. There's a way you do things in a unique manner. I don't know what, Dennis, you're hearing from this.
I think what Bishop Mungai is talking about is very true, because many other times you just enter into a business and you have not done your research well enough to know how the area is, and of course to know with your cutting edge. So you just start a business and then you're running, and then all of a sudden you start realizing there are business failures, or maybe you're closing down the business because there are things that you didn't check on. So I think it's good to be unique in the market, and of course all of us, we are talented differently and we are gifted differently. Thank you.
Wonderful, and I like the idea, what you're bringing in, the area of research. Many people, when they want to start a business, they don't go into research. I mean, you don't have to be quite experienced and do a very thorough research that will cost you millions of money. If you're able to do that, depending on the level of business that you want to start, it's okay. I don't know what Enoch would say about research and any other input that you can bring in about starting a small business. Somebody came to you and say, I want to start a small business. Or maybe you can also tell us, how did you start your small business?
Oh, thank you so much, Bishop. I love the aspect of when Dr. Francis talked about passion. Passion is key. If you're so passionate about something, I'm telling you, it will work out. It doesn't matter where you are, where you started. For example, me, I started in Uganda. We started a small thing. In fact, during our launch of the company, about 2 years ago, it was about just 3 people who launched it. The founder, CEO Mr. Martin, invited a good number of people to come and be part of, to witness what was going to be, birthed in Africa. But not very many people turned up, only about 3 people. But when you look at it, 2 years down the road, we have over 800,000 people. Wow. And when Bishop talks about uniqueness, I really agree with him, because when we approach the market, we are into advertisement. There are very many people who are doing advertisement, the traditional social media and a number of things. But we came up with a unique kind of approach, whereby we bypass social media, we bypass publishers, and then target the customer. Okay. We identified that now the customer is our boss. If we can satisfy them, then at least we have our share in the market. So I believe you don't have to copy, paste. Yes, you can learn. You can learn from what other people are doing, and then maybe improve your product or service, and you will make your mark. I'll give an example of Equity. Yeah. Equity Bank is it was not founded in Uganda. But when you look at, when you go to research, it is the fastest growing bank since 2016. But when
in Uganda?
In Uganda. Okay. It started here in Kenya. You get the idea. So when you look at it, when they started, when I read their story, they were a bit trying to do the same way how maybe Stanbic is doing it, how Crane Bank is doing it in Uganda, and they failed. In their first year, was it about 2009? They failed. And then they lost actually a lot of money, billions of money. Second year they failed. In the third year they still failed, but they picked up later after understanding, okay, now we have to be unique. How are we going to serve that person who is in the village? How are we going to reach everyone? Because these other banks had their high-end standard.
Yeah.
They could not reach the need of these, small business people. People were just starting out. So they changed their approach. And guess what? Because of their uniqueness, they're the fastest growing bank right now. I'm not marketing them, but I just love their idea. And I believe uniqueness
It's
is
something
very
to
key.
learn from them.
Surely.
When you say that they failed and came back,
Yes.
which is really there are many people who are not able to come back. Yes. And all of us have failed. I have started businesses and I have failed. Maybe you had a very good idea, you thought it's gonna work, and you failed. And when you say that, and they came back and changed the model. So you have to understand, what is my business model? Instead of starting with the people up there, they decided now we will start with the people down here and grow. This is our clientele. So you have to understand, who is your customer? Who are you targeting? Because many people go into business without thinking, or they are thinking, I will target everybody. And maybe not everybody will come. Sure. But again, what I hear also is resilience. That the power not to give up. Because when you, like you're saying, your director, you're the one who began your company, he invites people, I'm sure hundreds of people, thousands, and only 3 showed up. Yes. That may sound like a big failure. So again, people should not be afraid to start small. Absolutely. Okay? Because again, many people fail from the beginning because they are thinking, how can I start with 1,000 shillings? How can I start with the 500? How can I start, with just, 1 or 2 items? It's okay to start small. Yeah, and because again, I have a saying that I always say that small things grow. Yeah. So you find a baby who was born 2 kgs, they grow, and after some years you find they are 10 kg, 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't know how much you weigh right now, but you're 70, you're 80, there are people even 120. I mean, people, small things grow. So don't be afraid to start small. I think it's okay, to start small. So, and maybe Enoch, you should tell us, what are some of the challenges you have faced trying to set up a new business in a foreign culture and foreign country, where you're coming from the land of Matoke and you're coming to the land of Ugari, What are some of those challenges that you have encountered?
Well, thank you, Bishop. I think challenges is where the money is, because if you can surmount the challenges, then you can be able to really take your cake. When I came to Kenya, of course it was not a bed of roses. I personally didn't know the language. I didn't know Swahili so much. Much as every Kenyan believes that Ugandans understand Swahili. That's not
You don't
the
speak
case.
Swahili in Uganda?
No, they speak it. In fact, our president has made it a point that all, maybe primary and then institutions, they teach it. Because I'm telling you, I'm regretting why I didn't take Swahili so serious. Because I suffered so much when I was in the market. You go to buy something and someone senses, okay, he doesn't understand the language. He must be a foreigner. And they take advantage. So I learned in a hard way. So negotiating, I first speak Swahili. And I go slow. I don't talk very many words. So that I know your price, and then I'll tell you, okay, I'll give you this in Swahili. Nakupa hii. I don't want to make a mistake. Because very many will take advantage. But I now know it, so they won't. I now know the language. So we used to travel a lot. I believe we used to travel around the country, and we could get challenges. There's a day we were stopped by traffic, and then the man was like, I think we didn't have actually a problem, but I think he just wanted maybe something. So I made a mistake and spoke English. I said, sir, forgive us, we are going to work, we don't have so much time. Oh, the man sensed, okay, this guy is speaking English, he must be the CEO. I wasn't the CEO. So he entered the car, And he was like, okay, tell me, what are you doing? You know, so it was a challenge because in my first about 6 months, I really spent a lot, and I learned. You must understand the people you're working with. You must understand the language. It's going to simplify your work. Yeah, that is what really I can say about that. But after some time, maybe 6 months, people began understanding us. They understood the business we are doing. People began joining. In fact, it's one gentleman, Mr. Leonard Odiambo, who started as one. He was the first agent in Nairobi for our company. Right now we have more than 70 regional agents. Yes. So it is important to identify someone of the land who knows the people. When you work with them, they are going to take you to everyone. Yes. So
that sounds like the biblical principle of witnessing.
Yes.
When you go somewhere to preach the gospel, plant a church, you identify the man of peace,
Yes.
the man or the person who can welcome you
Yes.
and show you around. And I think that is important. When you're venturing into a new business, don't go there with all the ignorance, you don't know the language. I like what you say. Understand the language. So, and also look for somebody who can hold your hand, somebody who understands the culture, who can help you to negotiate and all that. You know, like even when Americans come here, when they go to buy something, you have no clue. The price, you don't know. They will, something maybe like, let's say they go to the Maasai market and they want to just buy a bowl. That bowl should be maybe 700 or something like that. And somebody will tell you 7,000. But you have no clue what is it all about. I don't know, Dr. Mugai, what do you think about some of those challenges that people encounter when starting, some of the barriers you have to come through?
Well, the barriers in starting a business are many, and we might not be able to exhaust all of them because they are very unique from business to business. But some of the biggest barriers I look at is in our country is lack of capital.
Okay.
So you would want to start, might be in a particular way, at a particular level, but then the capital becomes an issue. So you find, I like what you said, Bishop, about starting small. And starting small is good, it's going to be able to push you to the next level. However, there comes a time whereby you want to scale your business. So the question then becomes, how do you achieve the capital that you need? Again, a very, very small business, you have to be very, very disciplined in terms of finances so that you're able to build up enough financial muscle for you to be able to scale it up. So financing is really a big challenge for a lot of people, especially for small businesses.
Financing. So, if you go, of course, every business requires money. And so how much, if somebody comes to you and say, I want to start a business of selling clothes or shoes or, phones or phone accessories, what would you tell them about knowing where to start? How much do they require? How would somebody determine, I need 10,000, I need 100,000, I need, how do you, determine how much you really need for a business?
And your T-check, and they give you the money up front and they discount. So a business can start with a very, very small amount. You can imagine that's a bank starting with 5,000 shillings. Today, might be by capitalization, is billions of shillings.
Yeah.
So a business can start with as little money as possible. In fact, there are some businesses which start with little or no money. What you might need to do, for example, if you're selling a product, you might need to actually be able to talk to someone who can be able to give you credit. There are some hawkers I know today who actually have a place whereby they are able to get credit for a day, or for a morning. So they go and say, I want to sell, today I'm going to sell 5 cups, for example. Can you give me 5 cups? And he's expected to repay the 5 cups by the midday or by the time he comes and fetches the next order. So you can see, in a way, it's almost zero.
You start with nothing.
However, the trick here is you must be very disciplined. You must be very honest for you to be able to grow, and then you must be very hardworking, because then you have.
I want to do ABCD. I want to start this business. And then you seek, you research, you seek the wisdom that is needed. And then you have mentioned something about integrity, that you also don't, let's say, and I have done that. I remember when I was selling electronics, I had people in Ludhuri, Ludhuri Avenue, that had big shops, TVs, radios, and all electronics. For me, I don't have money. But I would say here my capital was integrity.
Exactly.
Because your integrity can be your capital. So what they used to do, I would go maybe with 20,000 and they give me stock worth 50,000 because they are trusting that in my shop, I had a shop in, I will go sell and come and pay. But what will most people do? Or many people will be given credit here and now they avoid, from that day they avoid that shop. And they go to another one, and they go to another one, and they go to another one. So lack of integrity can also bring you down. And I think that is so important. Well, we'll take a short break, and I'm liking the conversation. We are talking about Kingdom Business Network and how we can grow our small businesses, how we can start. And we hear, you can start a business without money. He has mentioned about borrowing. I know Kenya borrowing has been made easy. You can just click some numbers on your phone and you borrow some money. They call Fuliza. Now there's a new one with the government, the Hasura Fund. I think when we come back, we will discuss, is it okay to borrow? And how should we go about borrowing? Thank you so much. We'll be right back.